Hey guys, what's going on? It's McDonald23 back with another video, and today I got some more tips and tricks for you guys, this time in Showdown. Showdown has changed quite a bit since the first day of the game. We've got a lot of updates to it. It's definitely become easier, and I'm going to give you guys all the tips I have accumulated throughout my time playing this mode. I've completed it quite a few times. I have 6 Face the Franchise cards now, all through Showdown. Now, what I used to do was hop into one of these drafts, play like 1 or 2 moments, get like 2 runs, and then skip entirely to the end and beat the boss, like successfully, the first couple days of the game. But as time moved on, it just wasn't a successful strategy. I was just losing too much for it to be a successful, idea to keep doing this, because it was wasting a lot of time. Because every time you did win, you were actually losing stubs and just kind of your time. So taking this the slow way will definitely help you. If you beat every small mini moment along with the mini bosses, the score is going to be 15-15 with 20 outs. Look at it like this. Look at this boss right here. I'm down 3-0 with 10 outs. That means I need to score 4 runs in 10 outs on All-Star. And if I complete all these missions in my certain run right here, it'll be 12-15. That's the exact same setup as this mission, score 4, except I have 20 outs. So when you guys are doing Showdown, I'd actually say that this boss is actually the hardest boss. This is the one. If you're doing it the long way, this boss is actually the more important one, because if you beat this and then you beat these mini moments, you have so much more time to do this one. I mean, obviously it's still more important, the final one, because that's how you win the whole thing, but at the end of the day, man, this is probably the harder mode. One of the biggest tips you guys probably already know is that you want to know the handedness of the guy that you're facing, mini bosses and the final Showdown boss. Final Showdown is the most important, but knowing the mini bosses does help as well. You don't want to get stuck against like Mad Bum with all lefties, because I've done that before. So this entire division, the NL East, all mini bosses are right-handed pitchers, so we've stacked up our lefties. And since I'm on a mini boss currently, I have people out of position, because it's a revolving inning where pitching does not matter. So don't ever draft pitchers. Even if you're doing it the long way, these bronzes can get it done. I really do recommend, do not draft pitchers, even if you're playing the long way. Like, it's still much better to have a hitter, unless they're like completely useless. Like, there's not many times that's a scenario, but if it ever happens, I guess. But more times than not, take the hitter. So a quick look at all the bosses. The NL West, it's going to be Walker Buehler. The Central is going to be Josh Hader. The West is going to be Verlander. The East is going to be Cole. And the NL East is going to be DeGrom. And the AL Central is 3 different guys. I believe it is Greinke, Sale, and Kluber. I think that's what it is. I don't know why it's like that, but it is. So when you're starting your draft, this is the only one where you will not know who you're facing. It could be a righty or lefty, so just draft the best players that you hit well with. But then after that, you will know. The logo will show up. You will know from then on. But that's the only division. Don't know why it's like that, but it is. And if you guys just needed some tips for who to take there, obviously you're just going to have to hope you get lucky. I don't know. I mean, there is 2 righties in there and 1 lefty, so I guess you can be kind of go with the odds and take more lefties. I don't know. Either way, just take guys you're comfortable with. The more you draft, the more you're going to know the board and who you like to take. I mean, it is pretty nice getting the same guy. Like, I like to get Juan Soto in this. It's a really good solid card. But obviously, the more you play, the better you're gonna get at it. Even if you fail, failure will teach you stuff. I mean, I learned a lot about perks coming into this. Some of the best perks are obviously ones where you are losing. Heart attack being probably the best one. Don't take any perks that rely on you winning the game, because that will literally never happen until the mission is over. If you win, don't get those ones that are like specific scenarios, like, oh, you get contact boost on a full count, like. It's just like, you want to get stuff that is pretty generic, that's going to happen a lot of the time. So as you guys can see, I have contact boost while losing, contact boost on the first 2 pitches of the at-bat, and then we have Oppo Taco. It's not the worst. Those aren't the worst right there. Solid little gold pairing, but yeah, make sure to take ones that happen in scenarios that are just realistic for your moments. Now here's another quick tip. If you guys are doing 2 cards in 1 division, I'd actually recommend going through the Showdown like multiple times. Most people want to do it twice and then start exchanging, which is what I'm actually doing for Juan Soto, but that's only because I don't really want anyone else in the NL East. If you guys are going into a division like the AL West, where there are multiple good cards, do Showdown like 3 or 4 times, and like, you know, trade out the vouchers to each of the guys, because it's definitely worth it, and it is a good idea. If you guys missed my video talking about who are the best team affinity cards to go after, make sure to check that one out. It'll help you to decide who to go after, and then this video will help you beat those Showdown runs. But there are a lot of good cards to head after. Just pick the division that you want, see how many guys you want from it. You know, there's probably a couple, yeah, honestly. I mean, there's just no one else in the NL East that I really want. Nola is pretty solid, but I have a lot of starters, so I don't really want him. I've heard Albies is very good, so maybe I'll get him in the future, but I just don't need him at the moment. I mean, it's all up to you guys. It's all up to you on who you want to grind. The more you play Showdown, the better you're going to get at it, honestly. It just takes time. So if I want you guys to get something away from this video, it's that you really, really need to play every single moment. It is going to be worth it in the long run. You just have a better chance of winning, and, you know, even if you lose, even if I lose at this mini-boss, look at all the stubs, and look at the packs I got. Like, this wasn't a waste of time. But if I had skipped to the end and lost, then yeah, it was a waste of stubs and time, unfortunately. If you were just in it for the vouchers. I mean, if you have fun playing the mode, that's, you know, that's good. But if you're in it for the vouchers, obviously that's what most people want out of this mode, and that's what I'm going for, and that's what I'm trying to help you guys get today, because those Face of the Franchise cards are great at this stage in the game. So get as many as you can. As someone who's played through a lot of mini bosses, I played through some stressful times, dude. I've been down in my last out, had to come back. I've done it. I failed at like 15 to 14 or something like that. Like, it can be brutal. I mean, these missions can be brutal. 15 to 15 is a stressful time. And I think the best tips I can give you guys is just take your time with it, breathe, bring a good mindset into it. If you're not feeling it, even in the slightest, don't play it. Like, you got to be feeling your hitting to play this thing. And even if you're halfway through the moment and it's like 15 to 13 and you have like 8 outs and you're like, you know what, not feeling too good, but you just keep swinging, that's not a good idea. You need to take that break. You need to just pause the game, go grab some popcorn or whatever, and then come back. You're going to be a different hitter. It's going to help you out. I mean, you're saving yourself some time by not losing the mini boss, because no one wants to lose to a mini boss, especially this second one. That's the worst one to lose, because then you got to go all the way back. I don't think you should lose, honestly, at the last boss if you beat this boss and you go to the long method, because at this rate, it'll be so much easier. It'll be like 12 to 15 with 20 outs. I should be able to get that. But yeah, guys, that's the tips I have for you. Stay calm, cool, collected. Make sure you know what you're doing up there, and you can always pause the game. Just don't quit out. If you get a network error like I've had to deal with, you will get counted as a loss. Unfortunately, there's no way to redo that. You just have to, you gotta live with it. It's the worst, trust me, I know. But you can go to options. You can pause the game as long as you're not closing the application or turning off the PS4. I think you're fine. I wouldn't turn off the PS4. I wouldn't do that. Yeah, press options, and you can keep it open for as long as you want, and then you can come back and play whenever you're set and ready to go. You can even warm up for a Showdown if you really want to by going into custom practice. I mean, do it however you want, but hopefully this video was a help for you guys. Hopefully you guys are getting those Face of the Franchise cards you are looking for, and if you guys have any additional questions, drop them in the comments below. And until next time, I'll see you guys later. Peace.